The day I signed my $200,000 job contract, my phone lit up with a message I hadn't seen in years. "We've always loved you." It was from my mom, the same woman who cried when I wasn't born a girl. And suddenly, after a lifetime of silence, they wanted me back. If you've ever been the underdog, overlooked, or flat out rejected, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe for more real Reddit revenge stories, and drop a comment if you've ever been the one they called only after your success. I was the firstborn, the supposed golden child. But for my parents, I wasn't gold. I wasn't even bronze. I was a disappointment from the second I entered the world. I still remember what my dad told me when I was 7, something no kid should ever hear. We were watching TV, and out of nowhere, he chuckled and said, "You know the first thing your mom said when you were born? Why is it not a girl?" I laughed awkwardly. I didn't know how to react. At that age, you don't fully understand the weight of words. But something inside me cracked. When my sister was born 2 years later, I watched my mom cry tears of joy, despite being in labor pain. She literally cheered through contractions. I sat in that hospital room, feeling like I was watching a coronation, the birth of the family's true heir. It wasn't just a feeling. From that moment on, everything changed. Suddenly, the warmth I once had from my parents was gone. My drawings weren't on the fridge anymore. My school trophies got moved to the back shelf. Every conversation was about her, what she wanted, what she needed, what she deserved. When there was extra money, guess who got the new clothes, the phone upgrades, the glittery jewelry for no reason? My sister. Me? I wore second-hand shoes and saved lunch money to buy school supplies. When I finally saved up enough to buy a used tablet to study on, my sister saw it and whined to Mom that she wanted it. That night, it vanished from my room. The next morning, I saw her walking around the house with it, and when I confronted my mom, she just said, "Why are you being selfish?" Selfish, that word stuck with me. By high school, I had already stopped asking for things, not because I didn't need them, but because I knew the answer would always be no, or worse, my request would become her reward. I worked part-time jobs after school, stocking shelves, cleaning offices, tutoring math. Every dollar went to my own needs, books, clothes, college applications. Meanwhile, my sister, she partied, posted selfies with captions like, "Daddy's princess," and tossed her phones after 6 months because she got bored of the color. But the worst part wasn't the stuff. It was the isolation. The invisible wall that formed between me and the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. Birthdays came and went. No celebrations. My sister had spa parties and ice cream cakes. When I got into university with a partial scholarship, my parents didn't even say congrats. They said, "Well, we're not paying for it." I didn't ask them to. I took student loans. I picked up 2 jobs. I spent nights sleeping in the library because commuting was too expensive. And through all of that, I didn't become bitter. I became resilient. Pain can either break you or build you, and I chose to let it build me. Fast forward years later, I'm 27, married to the love of my life, and just accepted a job offer at a tech firm that pays me $200K a year. My title? Senior Systems Architect. I walk into meetings where I'm the youngest in the room, and the one leading the presentations. I thought that chapter of my life was closed. But pain has a funny way of showing up again, just when you think you're safe. About a month into my new job, I got a text from a number I hadn't saved. "Mom, we're so proud of you. We always knew you'd be something special. Can we come visit you sometime?" Proud? Always knew? I didn't even respond. But the texts kept coming. "Dad, your sister told us about your job. Sounds like you're doing really well. We've missed you." Mom again. "You know we only did what we thought was best. We love you." What they didn't know was this. A family friend had apparently mentioned me at a community gathering, bragging that I was now making doctor money. That's when the tide turned. Not because they missed me, but because they missed the idea of me, the successful son they could now claim as theirs. They wanted to wear my success like a badge, the parents of the tech wizard. The "we always supported him" lie they could peddle to their friends. So I gave them a response, just not the one they were hoping for. I sent a simple text. "Glad to know you finally remembered me, But I have everything I need now, family included. Wishing you the best. Blocked, deleted, gone. A week later, I got a long email from my mom. Pages of gaslighting. How hard life was for them. How I was too sensitive. How favoring my sister was just their way of protecting me from pressure. And finally, the ask. They wanted to visit. They wanted to reconnect. They even said they were struggling financially and asked if I could help as a son. I didn't even finish reading. I had my wife beside me, pregnant with our first child. I looked at her, looked at my life, and smiled. Because I had already won. They didn't raise a weak boy. They forged a man, through fire, rejection, and solitude. And now that I stood on solid ground, they had the audacity to ask for a ladder. But I wasn't climbing back down. My child will grow up in a house full of love, where birthdays are celebrated, where effort is appreciated, and where no child ever wonders if they're second best. And as for my parents, they get to live in the echo of their silence, the one they gave me for years. And I get to live free. They had one shot to love me, for nothing, just love, and they blew it. Now they want access to the rewards of a race they never ran with me, but I crossed the finish line without them, and that is the sweetest revenge. Not anger, not retaliation, just absence. The very thing they gave me returned in full. Some people only value you when you become useful to them. But real family isn't built on usefulness, it's built on presence. And when someone chooses to ignore you at your lowest, they don't deserve to celebrate you at your highest. If this story hit close to home, hit that like button and share it with someone who's felt the sting of being overlooked. Drop a comment with the most satisfying revenge you've seen in real life. And don't forget to subscribe. We've got more real Reddit revenge stories you won't want to miss.